Welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. I'm Amy Shannon, but you can call me Amy. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome, and I hope all is well with you. I'm Amy, and today I'm talking about Zola Blue's new book, Whispers of Tribulation, The Present and the Destiny. It is book 4 of her Majorian series, and I have read, including this book, all 4 books in the series, and I really enjoy it. So if you are if you like fantasy and sci-fi and beings, non-human beings, and various creatures that come to life, including puppies, um, that have telepathic powers, it's really it's a fun book to read, and it's so interesting because it keeps the author, or excuse me, the reader, um, engaged. And I do recommend that if you are new to the Majorian series, that you start from the first book and read your way through it. And because the Majorians have their place, and this is a great set of books. So about Whispers of Tribulations, it was released on April 15th. Um, I've been doing some promotion for the author, and doing blog posts and notifications and email campaigns and what I call X bombs. I'm doing promotions on what used to be Twitter, and a whole bunch of those that will be coming across in the next few months. So that is, I do various promotions for authors, um, but uh, I like I like this book, and I am happy that she wanted me to promote her work and read it and talk about it. So um, the book is described as in a galaxy where telepathic bonds and ancient dreams shape destinies. The Major and their diverse allies embark on a thrilling journey that intertwines with their fates across worlds. When a meteor threatens the peaceful village of Major on the distant planet Eucris, King Tulabi and his loyal followers seek refuge in a mystical dragon war village. But their escape is fraught with danger as their sacred cargo, including the king's nest, is lost in a crash en route. Determined to recover their lost treasures, King Talabi leads a daring expedition into the treacherous cave of Magnus, a legendary dragon rumored to hoard precious artifacts. As they delve deeper, they unravel ancient secrets that link to their past, to unforeseen dangers in the present. Meanwhile, on Earth, 2 mischievous Majoran pups, Bracket and Pinky, find themselves in the care of a curious human named Ren. With their telepathic abilities and playful antics, they bring joy and wonder to their new family. But when Bracket's unique powers attract unwanted attention, they must navigate a world where humans and Major collide in unexpected ways. As the Majorian and their allies face challenges, dangers, and unexpected connections, they realize that their destinies are not just intertwined, but vital to shaping the future of their world. So, with that, I want to go right into, I'm going to read an excerpt from chapter 1, and hopefully it will entice you to want to read this book, and the other books in the series. Chapter 1, Dangerous Adventure, The Dragon's Lair. King Talapi glared down at Zacharias and Wangi, another of the small, Arvangli, and I am probably pronouncing all these words wrong, but they are very interesting to the stories, and I love how Zola, creates these interesting names, people, beings, planets, whatever. So oh goodness, if I mispronounce the word, I totally apologize, Zola. Okay. With their spears braced outward, the little fellows sneaked forward like tiny hunters searching for their prey. Barely visible in the darkness, even with his acute eyesight, he could only see them clearly by the sparks of light coming from their pinhead-sized torches. Fearless in their minds, the Arvangli took the lead and he followed the small lights on the ground. Stealthily, Talabi moved behind them, quite impressed that the little people were anxious to attack the giant dragon being, and the great beast would only notice them as microorganism vermin, unable to do any serious harm to him. Of the same mind as the other Majorian leaders, the king believed that the little ones were hiding a secret, and the queen of theirs was just curious about them. Many times, inappropriately questioning them, Marina interrogated him continuously. Talabi skirted around answering, changing the subject, or walking away, unsure in his mind that she needed to know that much about their history. She even admitted to having her soldiers follow them when they left the village barrios. Tiny and nearly impossible to see, deliberately spying on the Majoran, they hid under brush and grass, staying out of range of their sensory perception. Even the Majorian enemies, the black shadows beyond the walls that attacked them, sucking their soul's essence, didn't seem to pose a problem for the Arvungli. This did not sit quite well with him, and although she gave the pretense of helping them find their muling, it would take more than trickery for him to trust the queen and her band of wee folk. With the balanced and harmonized capabilities of Thai, Oz, Iranian, and Iranian, King Talabi was light on his feet and swift as well. His athletic, lean, agile body moved gracefully across the cave's floor while searching the deepest darkness for any sign of his son. The decision to leave Sidor outside was a conscious one, made by him because of his second largest stature and violent aggression. King Talabi did not want to fight with a fierce beast and wanted to remove Muling silently without incident. Sador's aggressive tendencies were not what he required now, and the thought of any harm coming to his Muling because of the overreaction of the warrior, Majorian tore him up inside. King Talabi would do anything to save his Muling. However, the relationship between him and the Dragoners grew into one of absolute trust and respect. If the death occurred to the dragon, this might hurt all of the work done to unite the two unlike races. Hearing grunts from some dragoners, when they spoke of destroying the beast, the king realized that Majorian could not kill the dragon. Violence against the dragoners and upsetting the Majorian peacefulness was his last option. Magnus, he said aloud, the great dragon belongs to the king Euphoria's daughter, Tallulah. After leaving Homelands and arriving on Eucrates, the beast went mad with grief and left the dragoners going rogue. A king with a missing son would kill, but he was a Majoran who did not kill. King Talabi sighed quietly and crept on behind the tiny folk. Battling his thoughts, he fought against his palms growing hot. Talabi found himself today constantly fighting against the part of him that caused the disorder to come upon him. Due to his unique Mazorian markings, a star in both hands blazed red. Seconds later, gaining control of the abnormality, drops of water cooled down the heat, drenching his palms in dripping water. Although most villagers adored the Mazorian marking, he hated his, since it became an embarrassment to his father, and only his seemed to do anything. Nymeria's marking glowed beautifully. However, his hands growing hot or sloppily wet was disturbing and inappropriate at any time. The pediatrician said he was not physically ill. No real reason accounted for this peculiarity, and he needed to control it. King Tenethatel scolded Talabi when he saw him display this disorder. For this reason, Talabi grew skillful in taming these issues, realizing his mood triggered these reactions. Every temperament, including anger, which he rarely experienced, he controlled. The abrupt news of the destruction of his kingdom splintered his control, and now his son was missing. Again, the burning grew intense. Sparkles of fire rose within his palms, and he was losing control, and even his precious queen, Nymeria, whose presence alone calmed him, was suffering herself, and she had no comfort for him. So that is an excerpt from chapter 1 of Whispers of Tribulations, the Present and the Destiny. of the Majorian series by Zola Blue. In reading it, I wrote my review and I gave it 5 stars. And I wrote, Zola Blue writes a fantastical science fiction tale where whispers of tribulations, the present, and the destiny. In Whispers, the reader is introduced to the Majorians. Whispers of Tribulation, the present, is part of the Majorian series, and this is volume 4. I'm a big fan of Zola Blue and write and read whatever she writes. This author has a great imagination and a talent for showing the story. She magnificently built the world of Major, which is located on the planet Ecrutus. There is also the planet Earth, and there is some connection between the Major and humans. It's another grandly written story featuring the Majorans. There is always something interesting happening, and in this story, King Talabi must protect and lead his people away from their village because the meteor that could destroy the village and maybe the planet. The connections between various beings, including humans, they are looking to survive, and there are more dangers than just the meteor. The story is a definite attention grabber, so much that I couldn't put it down. Zola Blue not only tells the story, but shows it with words as well. And the story is amazingly unpredictable. It's no surprise that this story is filled with action, depth, and layers of characters and plotline. If you love a good science fiction book with a mix of fantasy and great world building, this book should be next on your list. And I definitely recommend it. It is on Amazon as of April 14th. And I will be promoting it on my various X accounts on Facebook, blog posts, and things like that. So I hope that you pick yourself up a copy of her latest book. If you haven't read the ones before, if you pick those up too. And once you're finished reading it and loving it, go back to Amazon and write a review. If you're an author who wants your book to be on the show, go to amysbookshelfreviews.com/podcast for more information. If you're an author and you want your book reviewed, go to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews for more information. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. I'm Amy Shannon, but you can call me Amy. Thank you for listening. This has been Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. Thank you for listening. And always, be kind and stay safe. Thank you.